Yo, what's up, guys? We are doing heroic Jadefire now, and then we're going to do mythic. So Jadefire Masters is the either second or third, depending on your faction. Boss. The for Horde, it's the third. Again, we're just going to misdirect the tank, double tap, go straight into our single target rotation. Obviously, Marksmanship has no two target cleave. I mean, if oh well, like oh fucking well. So we're just gonna do our single target damage on the monk. Of course, you want to be focusing the monk on any difficulty. You just want to kill the monk first. I mean, honestly, even if you kill her like when the mage is still at 50%, it doesn't matter. You just want to kill her first. And then you just want to cleave the other guy, obviously. Once in a while, he does do a shield thing, the mage. So you want to destroy the shield, and then you can interrupt his pyroblast. I mean, that's not been a big deal for us for like many weeks, but I guess on your, on your first couple of kills, you do want to just make sure you're focusing on killing that shield. But after a while, it should honestly just be coming off anyway, even, just with all of the cleave and shit like that. Uh, so the one thing about these bombs, so these living bombs, they do have that laser that goes around, and yes, that does do damage, so avoid it. But in the area, it has like a little, misty area. It's like a fog machine that it's creating. I guess it's like smoke or steam. You cannot see into or out of that little area. So in order to do damage to the living bomb, you actually have to get over next to it. Of course, for melee, that makes sense. For range, though, you can't stand like outside, across the room, and you cannot shoot the bomb because it will be, I think it's your vision of the target is obstructed or obscured or whatever, like something like that. It will say. So you need to, as a range GPS, you need to move inside of the little area of the bomb in order to kill the bombs. And yes, you do want to be focusing these bombs down because I think they tick, for the whole fight, and they just kind of do damage. So this is a really fast heroic run. Obviously, we are already into the ring phase. So here, I'm actually going to purposely eat this. Yes, this was on purpose. Definitely not a mistake. But I'm going to definitely do this on purpose. And then, so this is what happens when you hit one of the traps. If you do not have like an immunity, Turtle actually works for this. Cloak of Shadows. I think I guess Bubble does. There's a few things that reduce the damage. Where you take no damage, but you still get knocked up. So it's dangerous to get knocked up because, as you can see, I'm pretty fucking high. And yes, this is a lethal falling height for everyone. I think maybe Rogue can survive from this height. I really don't know. They're still going to be taking some damage though. So you need to use your heroic leap, your intervene. You need to be using your disengage. All those things. Also, priest grip. Priest grip is great. So there, like I said, I'm going to purposely do that on purpose, and so that I can disengage and jump over a bunch of the rings and get over to the barrier faster. Yeah, that's the strat, boys. Um, and then the barrier. So this barrier it's actually four orbs that are kind of holding up this barrier behind the bosses, and um, the the monk is the one casting the rings right now, so like the ring maze, and then the mage is the dickhead that's just blasting us with fire everywhere. So basically, this is, it's not too tough on heroic. It's not like a whole lot of damage. It's just, you'll slowly get ticked down. I guess maybe your healers will run out of mana. If you're still progressing on this, but it's really not too big of a deal. The main thing is just killing these barriers and then breaking the barrier. The one thing here, so there are actually three orbs that are interspersed throughout the maze. So what is it? The Ring of Peace maze that you have to kind of weave through and run around. There's actually some orbs, these little items that are, these glowing orbs that are actually, they look just like the barrier here. They are the barrier. You have usually like a healer or just anybody, you can just pick those up and you run it over here, and then you kind of place it on the barrier, and it allows you to damage the barrier. So basically what that means is if you have one barrier up, they all share health. So they all have six right here. You can see 6.16 million health for this group on heroic. They all share health. So they all have that 6 million health, but That means if there's only one orb up and you can only attack one, you can only do single target damage of that to that 6 million health. But if you're getting others, if you get 2 or 3 or 4, you can start AoEing and multi-dotting all of them, and that will take out that 6 million health much, much faster. So that's obviously what you want to be aiming to do. Unfortunately, right here, as a marksmanship hunter, we do not have 2 target. We only have 3 target. So we are waiting for, who is this guy? This Saving Grace, this fucking G-man right here, this awesome motherfucker. It's Jadefire. Jadefire, our other tank. He is the man that is bringing the other orb here, so that allows me to now, I see that he brought it, and I immediately trick shots, and now we can hit all 3 of these barriers. So in terms of doing good marksmanship damage, that's really important. And that, you know, on my mythic kills, it really isn't that common. It actually, we usually are not getting the orbs because people are just kind of, you know, trying to get through the maze and kind of tunneling. So I might actually have to just start doing all the orbs myself just so that I can pad on those, on 3 targets instead of just the shitty 2 or just 1. Again, here, what happens when the barrier drops, you're actually going to be running back. So when the barrier drops, right away, basically, the monk will periodically, what she does is she takes one of the tanks with her and she teleports away and makes the tank do a mini game. Now, we actually get to see that mini game in Mythic, so stay tuned for that in about 5 minutes. But what happens is the mage will teleport all the way back across the room, as you can see, pretty fucking far away. So if you want to be doing good damage and be, you know, always be in a good position to do damage, make sure you're running over there or just disengaging like I did to get over here and be doing immediate damage on this guy, just so that you're not losing a lot of uptime. You know, that was a big mistake I made when we were first doing this boss. I wasn't aware of, like, oh shit, where did the boss go? Like, where are, you know, anyway. And so the monk is at 19% already, so basically she'll be dying. Throughout the fight, these Spirit of Zuen adds, you can see there, the Spirit of Zuen adds will be spawning. I mean, if you're lucky, you can maybe get a trick shots off of 3 of those, or, you know, the 2 bosses in 1 of those, or whatever. So that's something to look out for, is this maybe you can get a trick shot off. So she's already dead, and so we're only going to get 1 more true shot here. And I should use it immediately, because he's going to die pretty fast, I think. So I'm probably going to, yeah, I'm just going to use it there. And as you can see, the magma traps, that's the thing that knocked me up in the air. Though they are around the room. Of course, you don't have to hit them. You can just leave them there. Just don't run over them and just, you know, be cool. Obviously, on Mythic, it can get a lot more hectic. So that's Heroic. I mean, Heroic, of course, it's easier than Mythic. And it doesn't show you all of the mechanics, though. So in Mythic now, let's just go for Mythic. It's the same thing as you'll see here. We do have 3 warlocks. Yeah, so that's great. So actually the warlock gates, they set them up before the fight, and that actually allows you to use warlock gates to get through the maze. Because remember, the maze is going to spawn, and we're going to have to run through it. So if you have a warlock gate, you can actually get through it pretty easily. So it's the same thing here. We're just going to open with our single target, because again, you know, fucking marksmanship doesn't have 2 target. Oh well. And doing our big damage. They're both going to leap over near me in a second. So we're just going to have to turn around and keep hitting them. Do our regular old rotation here. Yep. So she jumps kind of behind you. And so again, this is right when the magma traps are about to spawn. But one big thing here that's about to happen is the mini game. So here it is. So every single, I think it's every person in the raid, including the tanks and the healers. Is it? Or maybe the healers stay down. I'm not sure, but especially all the DPS will go up. So let's just kind of go through this slowly. This is honestly, in terms of personal responsibility, this is one of the toughest mechanics in the entire raid on Mythic. Just because, you know, if you fuck it up, then you're dead, but nobody else dies, and it's kind of like, oh, well, he sucks. Like, why do we even have him in here? Because he's the only one that fucked it up. So, you know, don't be that guy, in other words. That's all I'm trying to say here. This is definitely a lot of personal responsibility. So all that happens is everyone gets ported up all at once, so you can see, like, Wire and Storm and 2 Asian, everybody's up here along with me, and we're all kind of, you know, next to each other, but not right on top of each other. So what happens is, as you can see, there are I'm in a ring kind of floating in midair, and there are 6 like little rings around me. What is going to happen? There are going to be 5 images. I think they're kind of like monk images that come and they hit you in the face. So what they do is they spawn and then they're like, bah. So like basically what you have to do is like, you know, when they spawn, you have to go, oh, okay, I see you. And then he spawned. Okay. And then he spawned and then him and then him. And remember, it's 5. So you got to do all 5 of them. What happens is, as you'll see here, if you face the correct one, so there I faced him, I faced him, I faced him, I faced him, and I faced him. That was pretty fast, right? Let's just watch it one more time. I mean, if you're doing this for the first time, it's definitely, when I did it for the first time, I think I did it perfectly because I'm just too good. But like, it's like, oh shit, like, okay. It's definitely a little twitchy. It's a little crazy. It's a little frantic. So you just want to make sure you're doing this. And it's fun to watch videos of this. Just so, I mean, if you're doing it for the first time, just to kind of see what's happening. So I see him spawn. So it's basically the way that you know is the first guy will kind of spawn. So I wish I could go frame by frame here. So this is when I'm first up, and you can see over here, this guy is the first one spawning. He kind of is glowing, and he kind of does a little light show. So he's like, hey, I'm about to hit your ass. So then you want to right mouse button. You want to go, you know, scroll over to him and make sure you're facing him, and then face the next guy and the next guy. So now we can see blue guy is up first, and then look, green over here, he's starting to phase in, so he's going to be second. And now look, green we know is second. Now look, red over here, he's starting to phase in, so we know he's third. And now look over here, green again is fourth, and then look, blue is fifth. Now you'll see what happens. I'm getting this buff. This is a weak aura. You can also see over here, it's technically a debuff, but what it is if you successfully get the hit to your face and not to your, just basically your side or your back, and it does have to be pretty close. It is not like Champions of Light, the blind. It's not 180 degrees. I mean, it could, I think it might be, but it's just really wonky with how you're moving your character with the right mouse button, because if you're right mouse buttoning but you don't pull it all the way, you might actually not be facing them, even though it seems like you are. So basically, just make sure you're doing the right mouse button really responsibly and you're facing right at their face. But anyway, if you are successfully taking the hits to your face, which is what you want to do, you take 0 damage, because I guess you get to, you know, you block it or whatever because you're a fucking sweet monk on this fight. You block it and you get a damage buff. And I'm not sure how much it is. I think it's 5% per stack. So we get 25%. It might be more than that. It might be 10%. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, I don't worry about that because it's just you either get the damage buff or you don't. It's not really how much it is. So if you're taking it to the face, you get a damage buff. If you take it to the back, I mean, basically the back, I mean, the sides, I mean, if you're not getting it to the face, if you're not doing it right and you're getting hit in the back, you take damage. So you actually take, I think it's at least like 80,000 damage. And it's quick, as you can see here, it's quick. So if you're getting hit in the back like over and over, you will die after, I think, 3. You might survive 4, but you will not survive 5. You cannot survive all 5 of them missing them. You will die. You just die up here, and it's like, wow, what an idiot. And like, why did we invite him to Mythic? Get him out of here. So again here, like boom, and then boom. And then it finishes. And we all phase in, and so everybody gets ported right back to sort of, you know, this is to the right of where we were starting the boss, so it's right over here. So everyone in the raid gets ported to there. So I guess it looks like Deb and somebody else. One other person maybe didn't get ported, but I don't know. I think everyone in the raid, basically, just about everybody in the raid is getting ported. So you definitely should be prepared to do that mini game. And it happens twice, I think, throughout the fight. So again, as we saw in Heroic, there's already a few magma traps down, so just be careful of the magma traps, especially when they're spawning, because sometimes he can just spawn them like right under you, especially in here. Like, as you can see, there's a lot of shit on the ground. There's some frozen orbs, some blizzards, I don't know what all this shit is, and then there's the mist and like healing totems and all, so there's a lot of clutter, and you can tell that like if there was a magma trap that was just spawned right there, you know, maybe some of us wouldn't see it. I mean, I don't even know if I would see it because it's like I don't know if I could see a magma trap like spawning under there. So just make sure you're really aware of when the magma traps are spawning. So you can see the timer here. It's at 7 seconds from now. So just be prepared in 7 seconds to see a magma trap and be like, oh, I better get out of that. And it's likely that it's going to go on us here. So he's going to magma trap. So wow, look, I'm going to pause. He put these magma traps right fucking on top of us. So you just have to either immediately pop your turtle and like eat these things, because turtle, you don't take any damage and you don't get knocked up, or you just got to move the hell out. And let's see what I do here. I turtle and I clear them. Now, the reason I did that, I kind of wanted to be a bro. I wanted to be a bro and kind of clear them for other people, but it seemed like, you know, everyone was running around them anyway, and so that worked out pretty well. Here there are 2 Spirits of Zuen up. So this is actually, as you can see, I have trick shots up. So this is the one time during this fight that I get trick shots. The only other time you can get it is during the barrier phase. I didn't end up getting that because I don't know, we just aren't doing the orbs very much. We don't really focus on that, which sucks for my damage, but oh well. So there, you know, I got a little AoE damage on the Zuens, and then we are going to be getting the maze. So here again, so this is, I was casting rapid fire. As you can see, I'm still casting it. I think I'm out of range. I don't even know if I'm doing damage right now. But again, this is blue. I see blue, he's spawning, I face him, and then green is spawning, so I face him. Red is spawning, face him, green, and then blue. So that one, wow, that was green and blue. They were opposite sides of each other. So you got to make sure you're spinning, you know, pretty quickly. I mean, it's not too quick, but like they give you enough time, but just make sure you got that timing down for all 5. So again, I get another 5 stack. Hell yeah. And again, I mean, that 5 stack damage, you do more damage. So let's see, my aim shot, it hit for 76,000 there. It should have only hit for about 60,000 at most, maybe 55,000. So I'm definitely doing more damage here. You can tell there's a big damage buff. I think it's 25% then, if that's about right. So here again, this is the maze. On Mythic, you're taking more damage. These little magma things, they do more damage. Now, I'm retarded. I just walked right by that orb. I should have picked it up, and I'm really good at critiquing myself later on when I'm not playing. But here, of course, you can select the barrier, and you should already be doing damage. So I didn't really select the barrier yet. Now I did. Now I'm rapid firing. Okay, and there's only one barrier up, and it looks like they put that one in and that one. Yeah, but I am not AoEing because I'm stupid. I didn't see it yet. Okay, now I see it, but they're almost dead. They're already at like 20%. So that kind of sucked. I forgot. I got a little bit of AoE there, but that's really important. Doing that AoE, that can be a lot of extra damage. And then just like in Heroic, we're going to run over here and we're going to wait for him, although they're going to do this first. So again, minigame, boom, boom. Oh. Uh-oh, cut the video. I missed one, guys. Yeah, so I got hit there. Let's actually see how much damage I took. That was a little weird. Obviously, you're all right next to each other, so the animations from other people's rings, you can actually see all of their animations as well. So that can be a little distracting. I see a lot of people, when they do this minigame, they actually do Alt-Z. That's the default. Alt-Z, actually, holding Alt-Z, that hides your interface. So it hides your entire interface, all your weak ores, all your bars, all your chat, everything, and there's nothing on the screen. So that can, you know, if you're getting distracted by stuff on the screen, if you're getting distracted by everything, you can do that to, you know, to focus on just doing the minigame and then bring your interface back after you're finished. So it was blue and then green here, and then I missed red. So what I did, I just went to Mansroy Flame Fist. Like I faced him, which was just stupid. So I went around here. I want to see how much damage I took. So I'm at 100% health right now. I'm at 100%, so I'm good. I mean, we are all good to go. And I missed this one, and wow, it's 91,000 damage. That is a third of my health. I bet it does 33% of your health. I bet that's how much damage it does. And then I took extra damage maybe from something, or maybe it does 91k. But that was a third of my damage, so I can only survive. Well, I can survive 2, and then 3 will kill me. So on Mythic, you know, don't be fucking around with the images. And the only person again on Heroic that gets the image is the tank who has aggro on the monk. So that's the only person that would be able to practice this before going into Mythic. And then boom, and then boom. So I do get 4 stacks there. I mean, I missed a stack, and I mean, I suck. Oh, fucking well. What are you going to do? I'm just going to pop True Shot here. The monk is way the hell over there, so we're not really doing much to her. We're going to switch to her. I should have double tapped that rapid fire, but I'll just double tap this aim shot instead. That's a tiny bit of lost damage, but who the hell cares? And again, there's a Zuen right there, so I'm getting a little bit of trick shots love right now. This is awesome. You know, getting a little bit of trick shots in there. That's really important. You're definitely going to see the difference between hunters and hunters. The ones getting that one trick shots, you know, they're just one, even just one trick shots. That's like an extra like 50, 60,000 damage, you know? I mean, at least. It could be more. Again, here the magma traps are. And I actually, spoiler alert, I do die here, and it's a little disappointing. I wish I had a better version of this, but again, we're just going to finish off this this boss. So he goes Phoenix, and I think he does like a frontal cone, or he just does pulsing raid damage or something. Yeah, he does pulsing raid damage, but he still does the magma traps. So you need to still watch for the magma traps. So the magma traps, as you can see, they are coming out in 4, 3, 2, and then I'm going to die very soon. So he spawns it like right on top of everybody. He's a dickhead, but you can react. You have enough time to react. And then I think I die. Don't I? No, I didn't die there. Wait, when do I die? Oh, maybe I don't die. Okay, I was just kidding, guys. I actually don't die. So this is yeah. So this is the fight, and then boom, there's the death. Me and Wire. Wire though, he has disengaged, so he'll be fine. I think. No, he has flap. Okay. So yeah, I'm dead as hell. I'm the only person that died. That's a good kill. So yeah, that's Mythic. I mean, obviously, as you can see, there's a lot more going on with the, you know, the little mini game here. Pretty sweet. Just make sure that you're facing, and then don't be a retard and get hit by that, and then you know you'll be good. So that's Mythic Jadefire. You know, it's a hectic fight. There's some timings. There's some stuff you need to pay attention to. Again, make sure you're watching your raid timers. I use bigwigs. This is bigwigs. And just make sure you're paying attention to all that shit. There's a lot going on, but just make sure, you know, there's a timing to it. So as long as you're doing everything the same every attempt, you can really, you know, just make sure you're just remembering what's happening, and you can just get it down after a while. So don't worry about it. That's Mythic Jadefire, and I'll be doing Mythic Opulence next at some point, and see you guys later.